Welcome to back. In previous lecture, we discussed about the food web. That is, we see the interrelation between the various food chains. Now, next part of our syllabus, that is the biochemical cycles. As you know that key ecosystem is made from the biotic and abiotic compound. In the biotic compound, different types of the living organisms are considered, and the abiotic component, that is the edaphic factor and climatic factors are present. But as you see in the edaphic factor, there are a lot of elements, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon dioxide, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. Likewise, elements are present in the plenty amount. Okay, now one question is here, that is how the recycling of this element take place in the nature, because these are present from the billions of the years from the origin of the earth. Nowadays this is the present, okay, because of the recycling of this element. And how this recycling take place, we can see in this topic. Okay, our heading is the biogeochemical cycles. This is a biogeochemical cycle. Bio means related to the living organisms, that will be the animal, or that will be the plant, bacteria, fungi, actinomycete. And geo means that is related to the soil, that is related to the geo. And chemicals, that means the element, and cycle, that means the biogeochemical cycles. What is the biogeochemical cycles and how they operate in the nature, we can see in this topic. The term biogeological chemical cycles refers to the cycling of the chemical compound. Here this is nothing but the biogeochemical cycle is nothing but the refers to the cycling of the chemical compound. That means the here cycling take place, replening take place, like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, phosphorus, etc. Okay, that is the recycling of the nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, phosphorus. That's the recycling take place through biotic. That is this recycling take place through the biotic component, that is the producers. Okay, producers, you know that, trapping the light energy and convert it into chemical energy and release the oxygen. Okay, you know that the photosynthesis process. In this photosynthesis process, the CO2, okay, plus H2O in presence of sunlight, okay, they form carbohydrate molecules and release the oxygen. That means here they use the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen during the day, and at the night they use the oxygen and release the carbon dioxide. That means there is the replenishment of the carbon dioxide and oxygen take place. That is the producers. Then consumers, okay, and same condition take place in the consumer inhale the that is oxygen and release the carbon dioxide. Therefore recycling of the carbon dioxide takes place. Decomposers, when dead organic matter take place of the any animals and plants, they decompose them and they release the amino acid, that is organic carbon, amino acids, proteins and elements from this dead body into the soils. And abiotic, that is lithospores, atmospheres, hydrospores. These are the element of the climatic system. You know that is the lithospores. Litho means that is related to the land. Atmosphere, this is related to the air. And hydrospheres means that is related to water. Inside there few elements also present. Okay, and their recycling take place. Component of the ecosystem. In nature, there are three types of the biogeochemical cycles. In nature, as you see in the nature, there are three types of the biogeochemical cycles, such as the hydrological cycles. Hydrological cycle is a universal phenomenon. We can know that this from your school day. That is a hydrological cycle, that is water cycles. You know that. Then gaseous cycle. Gaseous cycles means there is a cycling, replenishing, recycling of the gases. And the sedimentary cycle, that's related to the formation of the soil. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon cycles are also gaseous cycles. These are also this nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and cycles are the gaseous cycles. Okay, now first here important is the nitrogen cycle. We can see here that is a nitrogen cycle. All of the element which plant absorb from the soil, that is nitrogen is the most important for plant growth. Okay, all the element which plant absorb from the soil, your plant that's take the all element are required for their metabolic process in the plant. Therefore they absorb this nutrient element from the soil, out of which nitrogen is the most important. That is out of which element the nitrogen is the most important for plant growth. This nitrogen having a very important role in the plant growth, because where the nitrogen used in the plant body, in the organisms. Okay, we can see here, because it is required for the synthesis of amino acids. You know that the amino acid is made up from the nitrogen, carbon, oxygen and hydrogens. Here nitrogen is also important part in this nitrogen in the form of ammonium group. Okay, this is the synthesis of the amino acids. So when amino acid synthesis, when this amino acid from the linear chain, they from the proteins. Okay, this protein is also made from the nitrogens. Then nucleic acid, you know that the nucleic acid, that is RNA, DNA, ribose nucleic acid and deoxyribose nucleic acid. In this DNA and RNA, there is a specific term, that is a nitrogenous base pairs. Okay, nitrogenous base pairs, that is adenine, guanine, okay, thymine, cytosines. These are uracils. Uracils are found in the RNA. Ig is also present in the DNA. Okay, these having the nitrogenous base pairs. These nitrogenous base pairs is made from the nitrogenous. Then energy rich molecules, that is ATP, NADPH2 and chlorophyll molecules, they are required for greatest quantity for this synthesis of the ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, and NADPH2, nicotine amide adenine dinucleotide phosphate hydrogenase, that is a NADPH, and chlorophyll molecules, and for the synthesis of the chlorophyll molecules this nitrogen is required. Okay, atmospheres contain, you know that the how much quantity of the nitrogens are present in the atmospheres, that is 78%. Atmospheres contain 78% nitrogen. However, plants or animals cannot utilize intermolecular nitrogen. But this inside, that is in the atmosphere, 78% nitrogen present. But plants are unable to directly fix this into their root, because they require other microbes for the fixation. Okay, we can see in the next slide. Okay, this is our slide, beautiful slide. Nitrogen. Green plants obtain nitrogen from the soil in the form of ammonia. Okay, plant cannot directly use the nitrogen. There are different forms of the nitrogen, that is nitrate form, nitrite forms, ammonia forms. Okay, these are the different form of these nitrogens. That is, a green plant obtain nitrogen from the soil in the form of ammonia. That is in the form of, 1 minute, there is one problem. Okay, green plants obtain nitrogen from the soil in the form of ammonia or nitrates or nitrites ions. That means ammonia means NH4. Okay, this nitrates means N having triple bonds. Okay, and nitrites means N double bond between two nitrogen ions. That means this is the three forms, that is NH4. This is easily observable form. Then this is a nitrite forms, and this is nitrate form, and this is a nitrile form. Three forms are used by the plant for the nitrogen fixing. The most important source of nitrogen for the green plant is the nitrogen that is fixed by nitrogen fixing bacteria. As you see in the groundnut roots, we can see some nodules are the present on these roots. Okay, this is nothing but the inside. As you see inside these root nodules, there are the present of some nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, this is known as the rhizobium bacteria. Okay, this rhizobium bacteria helps to plant the conversion of nitrogen into the ammonia, and they provide nitrogen to the plant. That is known as a nitrogen fixing bacteria. Some of the nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is rhizobium, inhibit the root nodules of the leguminous and some other plant actinomycete in the other plant, and some other found free in soil, clostridiums and azotobacter. These rhizobium, this clostridium and azotobacters, these convert nitrogen into nitrite, then nitrate, and finally into the ammonia, and then plant take the ammonia easily. Okay, now we can see here what happened actually. This is the cycle of nitrogen cycles. As you know that is the cycle, then this is a very useful. This is the molecular nitrogen present in the atmospheres. Okay, when this is fixed by atmosphere nitrogen, that is known as a nitrogen fixing process by the different types of the bacteria, that is rhizobium, clostridium, azotobacters. Okay, when they convert this N2 into NH4, they convert into NH4, and this NH4 is used for the plant made of this NH2 is used in the plant for the made up of the amino acids, proteins, DNA, RNA and chlorophyll pigment and other organic compound. Okay, first of all, this N2 is converted into that is nitrite, then nitrate and then ammonia. Okay, directly into ammonia. This is through the nitrogen fixation process. Okay, then another is the another process, this is known as, this is the ammonification, then animal proteins and other organic, then ammonification process, this from the ammonia, then this will be from the 1 minute here. This is the molecular nitrogens and through the nitrogen fixation process they from the plant protein and other organic element. Then what happened during this is the nitrate. Okay, this is the this molecular N2 firstly converted into nitrate. Okay, the nitrification process, this process will be the take place converted into the nitrate, and this nitrate plant ammonification process take place and they form the ammonia. Okay, plant ammonification process from the this will be from the ammonia, and this ammonia is fixed into proteins and other organic compound. Then another process, that is a nitrate. This nitrate directly converted into the ammonia by different bacteria. Then this ammonium will be the process in the ammonification process and store in the form of protein, amino acids. Okay, likewise reverse process also take place through the some denitrifying bacteria. This denitrifying bacteria convert direct molecular, that is ammonia into directly nitrogen. Okay, we can see here this ammonia is directly converted into the nitrogen through the denitrification process, that is the nitrite converted into the molecular nitrogens. Likewise, when they organic matters dead or animals dead, they will release the ammonia. This will be the fixed in the soils. Then plant will be the use this ammonia. Okay, you can see in the detail. Nitrogen is directly taken from the air by nitrogen fixing root nodules, bacteria, rhizobiums, or by free living aerobic bacteria, that is azotobacter, or by anaerobic soil bacteria, clostridium. These are the three types of the bacteria. Now we can see here how they fix the nitrogens. Nitrogen is directly taken from the air by nitrogen fixing root nodules bacteria, that is the rhizobium. These are present in the root nodules, or by free living aerobic. Aerobic means they require the oxygen bacteria, that is known as the azotobacter, or by the aerobic. Anaerobic means they do not require oxygen soil bacteria, that is the clostridiums. These bacteria make nitrogen available to the plant for their growth. These bacteria convert nitrogen into NH4, convert into the ammonia. Some blue-green algae members like Nostac, Olisitoria and Abena, some blue-green algal members, these are the blue algal members, also fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, this algal member, that is blue algal member, that is Nostoc, Olisitoria, then Anabena. These also convert nitrogen into NH4. Okay. After absorption of nitrogen in the form of nitrite by plant, it has been reduced to the ammonia. Okay, and this conversion of nitrogen into nitrite, then nitrate, and then ammonia take place. Last slide is very important. Being used in amino acids and protein synthesis, nitrogen is used in the amino acid and protein synthesis. The breakdown of dead tissue by the decaying bacteria release the ammonia from the protein and other nitrogenous compound. When dead organic matter take place of this plant and organic this organism, animal, plant take place, when they decayed by the bacteria, fungi, actinomycete, they release the nitrogen in the form of ammonia into the soils, and then recycling of these ammonia take place through the plant. Now here some other types of the bacteria present, that is nitrogenous bacteria. Now how they helpful in the recycling bacteria? That is here one name is the nitrogenous bacteria, oxide ammonia into nitrite. This how they work? They directly convert ammonia into these nitrite form. Okay, this convert into nitrite forms, and then add nitrobacter oxide nitrate to the nitrite, and they convert then this nitrobacter converted into nitrate forms. This will be the take place nitromonas bacter, then nitrobacter convert ammonia into the direct nitrate. Then against another types, this conversion of ammonia into nitrate is called as the nitrification process. This is known as the conversion of the ammonia into nitrate. It is known as a nitrification process. Denitrifying bacteria convert. Now another types of the bacteria also present which convert. Denitrifying bacteria converts ammonia into free nitrogens. These defiltering bacteria convert this ammonia into directly free nitrogens. Okay, this is direct. There are no nitrate formation in the intermediate reaction, but we did directly from the ammonia to the nitrogen. This is known as the denitrifying bacteria and release nitrogen to atmosphere by the process of denitrification. Likewise, this will be the recycling of the nitrogen take place. In this way, the nitrogen is cycled in the ecosystems. Okay, how this take place? Likewise, this nitrogen fixation take place. 1 minute, briefly I will tell that in 1 minute. This is the atmospheric nitrogens. Okay, this atmospheric nitrogen is converted into the first of all, that is a nitrate form. Then this converted into the nitrate forms. Okay, nitromonas, nitrobacters convert this into nitrate. Then this will be the form the ammonia through the ammonification process. Okay, some denitrating bacteria this directly convert free ammonium into the directly nitrogen and this released into the atmosphere. Okay, likewise bacteria that is rhizobium, clostridium, anabena, nostoc. Okay, this bacteria will be having important role in the recycling of the nitrogen. Likewise, from the present inside the nitrogen inside the proteins, that is amino acids, DNA, RNA, ATP, NADPH. This will be the release when this organism get died. Then their decay take place by the bacteria, and these denitrifying bacteria this convert directly ammonia into the nitrogens, and this nitrogen released in the atmospheres, and likewise this recycling of this nitrogen will be the take place. Okay, I hope तुम्हाला समजलं असेल. थांबूया.